end product. So from the end product, we have to extract the original source code for the antennas. Okay, just a minute. I will share the notes. Okay, so you can check your WhatsApp group like I already forwarded like image. Let's look into that image. So this is a like a normal approach. Like whenever developers they want to build a Android application, so they prefer to write their code in a Java programming language. It's an Android Studio application. So for the development, so they write the code in a Java. They use a Java compiler to convert it to the like a bytecode format. That bytecode format data is like a Java classified. So those all supported class files are like converted into the again like a Dalvik executable program. So what is Dalvik executable program? So our Android OS run every app in a virtual machine kind of thing. That means your app is running in a virtual space. So there is an Android Dalvik virtual runtime. In that particular format only we use. So that's why like our Java application converted into the bytecode, that bytecode is converted into Dalvik executable form. The Dalvik executable form is a, like a program, but how that program should run, what it should run, where it should run, okay, what type of permissions are we have in the app, that all controls are handled by the Android manifest XML file. Android manifest XML file. This Android manifest XML file describes our app privileges and app related settings and everything. Okay, so now this our app related configurations and their permissions and everything defined in a Android manifest XML file. It means like us what is the package name? Is that package is allowing the backend format? Is that package is a debuggable format, which is the main activity? What are the sub activities? What are the permissions we should get from the device? Okay, what are the content providers we should handle? So everything, what are the services we should run in a background forever? All those things are like handled by the Android manifest XML file. So Android manifest XML file has a primary configuration of the app. App related primary configuration details you can find in that place only. Android manifest XML file. Now sometimes in our Android app we have a buttons. We have a like a keyboard. So print, next, previous, like that. Those are strings. We have a buttons. Sometimes they will play some audio and a background audio, background image. All those resources we have in the resources list. This whole thing is compressed as a package. This whole thing is compressed as a package. That package is the APK file. We have a APK file. That is a compressed package. That compressed package is going to be extract value install and place those things in our device. So run that. Let's say able to follow me. Now I have a APK file. This is the engineering process. Software engineer is trying to build the APK file. They written a code in a Java. So he just like a Java compile is converted into the like a bytecode. That bytecode again converted into the executable code. Now we can executable code. And after that, like so part of the code and the Android manifestation was this was attached together and they convert that to end product. Now we have a end product that APK file. Now you need to follow the reverse process to get the source. It means we have to do the reverse engineering. We have to disassemble that code. That is assemble the process. Now we have to do the disassembling process. So if you disassemble only, you can just like get the original source. In that original source code, you can find the motive of the developer. How we define the functionalities. We hard coded any sensitive information or not. How is dealing with the data? Is there any storage mechanism? How is storing the data? How is executing the application? Behavior you can figure out. Okay. So you can just read the code and you can understand the few things. And later you can run and you can cross check that. Okay. Okay. This is the field as per the code is storing the data in a plain text. But is the data really stored in a plain text or not? After running that, after giving the input, after storing the data, you have to verify. So dynamic analysis also we do. Now understand the static. If you want to do the static analysis, you need to expand the source. You need to look into the source. You need to observe the like, what kind of things they define in the code. Guys are able to follow me. So for that purpose, like, so we need an APK file. You can use, for example, you have an app in your mobile phone. You can use the third-party app named the APK extractor, which will extract the APK from the installed apps and give the APK file. You can do that. But I'm going to give you one APK file for the example. You already have a APK. You have to extract that APK to get the resources, manifest XML file, and text files. Already I told you, text files are like a Dalvik virtual machine executable program. They are like a came from the bytecode array. It means text to Java, jar files. So text to jar, so text to class files remain. Text to jar software. That software can help us to get the text to class file. Again, those class files we have to convert to the Java. So last two we will get the Java. Now, so you have to disassemble that. Previously, we have assembly process in engineering. Now, in a reverse engineering, we have disassembly process. Okay. Automated. Reverse engineering is a concept. So, find the source. If you get the source code, we can analyze the. For this purpose, we can involve the multiple tools also. There like a so lot of people they use the APK. Okay. Related like a tool we have. Tools we have. So APK tool we have. This is like a tool which can help you to do the reverse engineering. You can just like a disassemble the code. And after that, like you can modify, you can assemble again. So this is what people use. And one of my favorite one is JADS. JA. This is a Java keyboard. It has a GUI also. So JADS program is available in two editions. Command line interface and graphical user interface. Now if you use this like a JADS program, this JADS program can help you to disassemble the code completely. It means if we provide the APK file, that APK file to the Java code it will give to you. It will do the disassembly. And it will give us source code to you. You can look into the source code to find the algorithm. I love to use this. Actually, our home business tool, whatever we use for the automated analysis, that tool also uses the same tool. It uses JADS, it uses APK tool, it uses the text to jar conversion tools. So text to the smart conversion tool, some tools they use in the background. Less than able to follow me. So I prefer to use like JADX. Even like I can find for the Windows also. It's a Java based application. So I'm as a Linux user, I love to use GUI. So JADX. Right? Now I can simply can open a APK file. So it is going to expand. So good. That task is completed. So what it is in the summary. So it is identified through libraries, it is identified total 7 libraries in Java. So total classes printed, okay, please. So decompilation and like is there any errors or success rate? 100% decompilation. No issue. Okay, look into that. What is the resources? So we have like a resource. We have Android managed external file. Android managed external files contain the application type. If you want to do the static analysis manually, you have to start with this. You need to observe the things. So let's look into this. So if you start reading this, you can find the interesting thing. What is the package name? This is a really important. Package name mentions the app name stored in your phone. In a phone, package name you can find. Whenever you install the app in your phone, that app related name is different. You have a WhatsApp, but maybe WhatsApp is not changing the name of WhatsApp. Their package name is completely different. Like that, so most of the apps now package is becoming a popular, they will come to that name only. But random string they will give when they started building that. That is treated as a package name. That's to follow me. So they will give the one package name for the app building. That package name is going to start with so most of the time .com dot app dot something like this. Okay. Now just like you see the like a structure of the package name. With the same name only, data is going to be stored in your phone. Your phone internal storage create this folder. For example, if I install this Diva app in my phone, it is going to be create a Diva folder in my internal storage. So where it will store in a data folder. Our Android is line structure forward slash data. Inside of the data, we can find the folder name. This folder. In that path, this is the like your app source code path. Your app related configuration file. If your app create any file, read any file, everything is stored in that path. Now, when you are running your app, when you are doing something on your app, is that app is reading any file from this path only. Creating any file in this path only. So, if you check the directory internal storage, you can find the data storage, there is saved configuration files, and everything on our app. The behavior analysis to do that, just I'm trying to explain you. Package name important. Package is the really important. Package name. Okay. Next, like a look into the like a package with like a support edition. It is a using like a software development kit, Android software development kit. So it is a using. What is the minimum SDK version? 50. Now remember verify the minimum SDK version always. If it is using like a very old version, you will consider that one as now check the which version. Minimum SDK version 15 November API version. Okay. So if you check the like SDK version, Android, okay, SDK version 15. What is the version we have? Now, if you look into the like, so Android version, it is a 8.8 API. Okay, so now looking into the like API levels. In the API levels. So what is the level? It's not Android 15. Android API 15. There is a big difference. Android 15 version is different. As per the Android 15 version, what is the level? 35. But what is the level we are talking about? 15. Which is the version? Sandwich. Android 4. ఎప్పుడు రిలీజ్ అయింది ఏడున్నమ్మా now is it acceptable if you are at suppose the very old version very old okay version OS now you are using the outdated OS code that outdated OS don't get any security updates officially Google is a, like a what the OS Google never sent the security updates to the outdated OS. They will support the latest one. Now Google is giving the updates to the Android 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. In a daily situation, quarterly basis, they are able to follow things. But do you think like us who are using Android phone, sandwich version, which is released in 2011, will get the security update? When that guy don't get the security update, that phone is already vulnerable. If that phone is compromised, your app also compromised. If your app is dealing with a sensitive data, is it good to support installing that outdated phone? No. Security. So supporting meaning of what is the they should support what is the latest. Now what is the latest of recommended support to what the Android 11? Android 11. 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 also are there. That my point. So it's a old one. So consider that as security risk. So we report this one. We recommend to the developer don't be the support to the old versions. Okay, let me explain. This is the really clear example. So recently what happened? My wife worked in a essential company. That company like so using like Android apps for their business operations. So employees can log in from their Android and they join meetings and do something related to the Android. So what they did like they start with giving us support to the Android, not 11. 11, 12, 13 is not, they are not supported. They upgraded their app like the support only in a phone which has a Android 14, 15, 16. I don't have a such. We got like a phone like a 2 years ago, Moto phone, more than 30,000 rupees. It's useless now. That guy, Moto guy, is not giving update to the 14, 13 only. We don't have a choice. We want another phone which has like a 14. So companies strictly like recommending follow this. Why they are saying that? They are simply saying that okay, we have a lot of security got in old versions. We need to use a secure environment. Even like if you use like a few Android, like a banking application, they don't work on old versions, right? They simply say that no, because they understand. So you have to verify that what is the minimum SDK support version defined in the package. If they are like a defining the minimum SDK version for very old version, that old version OS hasn't right, automatically your application is completed. Is it a clear option? See, it's a end user. End user must use a secure environment. If you want to protect your application data is sensitive information. You will read the tab. Got my point. So SDK was like we have to do that particular configuration. So when you are looking to the configuration file, observe. Okay. Next, read the permission. What are the permissions? See, when we are doing like a malware analysis on that application, malware analysis, that time we focus more on permissions. Now, security also. Now, have the question. Why, as a developer, you are needing that? What is the motive? Say, how can you like tell to the end user, look at a security review. There is a no need of, there is a no need of using. So there is a no need of like using call lines. Is we have a calculator program. Is it required for callers? But if you download the calculator from the Play Store, it will ask. So this can, whether it will ask you, they are collecting amount of data. They simply allow that. So do you like so 80% app Google Play Store has a configuration. When big technology brands are doing, why can't we? ChatGPT is listening, Amazon is listening, everyone is listening. There are also many people say. So our data is how to like us so revoke the access to the permissions. You have to check the permissions properly. Why they need that? Now so this guy is trying to give the external storage, right? External storage on internet. What is right? What is right? I should find the evidence for that. In the source code, in a behavior, I need to find the source. If I find that he is writing any malicious data, he is like doing any malicious activity, it's a red flag. So observation. Okay. So if you find any like abnormal permission, so malicious permission, so as a security professional, you should not permit your application developer to use that permission because security testing, like the ethics testing, right? If you approve as a penetration test, what happens? They are using for their customers purpose only. But customers don't care everything. We should care. We know the consequences. So serious, sir. Permissions. Okay. Next, look into that. This app is like a debuggable app. This is a risky permission. What is the status? It should always work. Debuggable. Application get debug. So, a smart card can move your phone in a debugging. So we'll connect like our phone for the charging in different places. So we connect our phone in a different charging objects. In a bus station, in a railway station. There is a one attack. It's called juke jogging. So juke jogging is a word for it. It means if anyone has access to the your phone, cable connection in to move your phone into the debugging mode or backup mode to retrieve the application. Okay. So physical threat. So if your app is in a debugging mode, now your app can debug. Your app data can read by that malicious. So now say that if you have like a permission to allow backup, is allowing a backup. Now that app data is backup to the external. From that phone we can externally that app data. So this is also like a red flag. So security part. So we have to like consider that which version they are using, which they have like a debug permissions are not, backup permissions are not. Okay. Now look into the like a so this activity they are not. This is the main activity. This is the main activity what we are doing. So now totally like all activities, those many activities are running. But if any activity has a intent filter, that is a risk. Intent filter. Look for the intent filter. Are able to see the intent filter? That means this is the main activity. Inside of that, this one we have. What is intent filter? We have like a parent screen. The parents will have a nice in app like so what is activity? Activity is nothing but functionality. Login functionality, logout functionality. How we have in a dev, every functionality is considered as a one activity in Android. Activity name is your activity. Like login activity, logout activity, fund transfer activity. Every functionality, dynamic functionality, or static functionality defined as an activity. You will get the screen over. Now you open like the Instagram. It is loading on activity, main activity. But once you load a content, another activity. Once we move to the like a tab, like a chart, another activity. So like that activities are globally run. Guys are able to follow me. But if same activity running whenever in your system, whenever in your device, in a background, we call that one as service. Activities running as a service. Now our WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook run the service. That's why we get the notification. So your phone has a notification manager. But notification manager is controlled by a service. That one. So we have activity. When you open the app, activity is going to run. But we have a services. Without opening app also, they are running in the background. We have like a notification manager access, activity manager access. Okay, we have a telephony manager access, which you will access the call logs, SMSs, okay, contacts like that. So we have a window manager. Guys are able to follow. So we have a package manager. All those things are configured defined. Now what is the activity? What is the like okay, so service they will define. Now those main activities. So wherever we have intent filters, we have a clear red flag. What is the red flag? Broken access control. Now see this. This is the one activity running parent activity. That parent activity can open the child activity. It means after opening this screen, only should get this screen. But without opening this screen, you can directly launch this. That is a threat. For example, we have a screen. User need to enter the pin to open the next screen. But now you are entering pin. Without entering pin, you are able to launch the next screen. If you figure out. So there is a scope for the launching the child screen without any kind of access control verification. There is a scope for the access control. So we practically review this index filter in our next class, one day class, in the dynamic analysis. Okay. So there is a red flag. If we have an index filter, so we have an index filter before that one has its conditions. So if index filter is okay, enabled or any activity from the activity, it is a red flag before that. Okay. There is a scope for it. Next, like us to look into that, we have any content providers. Content providers. What is content provider? So in our Android applications, we want to share that application data with other apps. Now I have like for example, your WhatsApp app data shared with the Facebook and Instagram. Meta cross platform. So due to that, if you start in your WhatsApp with your girlfriend about baby there or tattoo, immediately start showing the ads in Instagram and Facebook. Boss is listening around this. Okay. So listen. Content provider sharing other apps. For example, you have a content provider, you want to carry some content inside of your app. The content sharing with the other app, how have you have a look? Is it exported by anyone? Yes, that is a big thing. Only exported by the expired app is a fine, but exported through the every app. It means you have like a ABC banking application. The ABC banking application has some content. The content provider exported equal to true. Then you some malware is installed in that code. That malware also can read that exported content. Correct. So you have to observe that is there any content provider it is. Now see this like the content provider exported to us. So you have to if content provider is exported through consider as well. So especially like a provider section. So this is the like a so what is the like a section how to select the provider content provider. If you are provider content provider as a exporter group, that content can export it to the other apps can be even like that. So what that content? So they are mentioning that what is the content, the content section, and there is a node provider module inside of the like the resource. That module has a configured content. That configured content will be provided by the so content provider should protect, activity should protect. So that's the really bad. అర్థమైతుందా? So we have to read the like a manifest file to understand the misconfiguration. Misconfiguration. So if you use like a fully automated approach, then at least you can just like general static parameter. Done. So down the but this is the command only for the static parameter, not for the dynamic parameter. Dynamic parameter command is different. So I will show you how to like use it for the dynamic parameter in next class. Now it is just like creating environment. So it is just like now it is in a listening mode. So you can open that link. So what is that link? The local host. So we have to use like a 127 0 that 1 so that local host name. Now you can log in with so even that credentials also displayed in the default. Login. Now you can upload your So if you do the like analysis with the more basic, static analysis with the gradient, so part of this static application is the for the mobile, Android app, iOS app, Windows app, all you can. Do you really require Mac for the Android iOS app analysis? If you are a Linux user or even a Windows user, now you are afraid. You can analyze the Android iOS app, static analysis. You can do. But dynamic analysis is related in for static analysis, Android app you can analyze, iOS app you can analyze. So Android is a dot APK, iOS is dot IPA extension. So you get them. So you can simply can upload and they can just you can complete the code. So Android OS like I use the four layers architecture. So if you look into the Android architecture, so they use like a four layer architecture. Same iOS also the same structure. So like this. So Android OS is like built from the Linux operating. So Linux kernel is used in Android OS. So Linux is an open source. We will use like a Linux open source kernel, and Linux subsystem user inside of that. So they simply like build the Android OS. Now that Android OS Linux kernel you can see the bottom of the OS. So you can see that like a display driver, camera driver, Bluetooth driver, and all those things, power management, all those hardware interactions completely Linux mode. After that, like so we have a like a layer, libraries management layer. So we use the like SSL, TLS. Okay, we use the like media framework. It means audio files, video files. If you want to play them, you need a codec for them. All that codec libraries. Okay. And like if you want to use a storage, SQLite database to use SQLite libraries. Okay. And graphical OpenCL is a graphics related library. Now if you play the PUBG with a graphic, so OpenCL is that. So we need a like a web kit for the web browsers. All those days are there. The libraries layer. So base is a Linux, above the Linux compatible libraries we have for the Android. And Android runtime, our apps are running in a Dalvik virtual machine. That is the area where our app runs. So that's why you can see the your mobile phone better performance. Sometimes you will feel that they are better than your computer, your smartphone. Performance, quick performance. Okay. You can just simply can load app, you can close app quickly, everything fast because that moment is coming because of the Dalvik virtual machine. So virtualization concept they use, you know, your app runs like a virtual app, virtual machine kind of behavior. So virtually it will allocate the resource. Once you close that app, everything is free. Storage is erased, everything is erased. Temporarily loading, running, closing, virtually. So because of that, you can see the better performance in other ways. Or whatever like a code library is required for online content, they use that. So basically, whenever you buy the any Android phone, that Android phone is a protected. Linux kernel is protected. Who can access the Linux kernel? Only root user. Root user only has a Linux kernel layer access. But like our phones are user mode. Your manufacturer, either Samsung or like okay, Xiaomi, whatever manufacturer phone you are using, those guys, after loading the OS, they will like restrict your account like a user mode. Now your phone is you are accessing in a user mode only, not like a root mode. That's why even you have a one problem. Whenever you buy the phone, you will get some preloaded apps already preloaded software you will get. If you want to uninstall them, you can't. We call them as a bloatware, unnecessary app, which is taking storage. Because why you are not able to uninstall? Even if you uninstall, also automatically it will reappear again. Because it's a root level install. You are a user who can't do it. So they are protecting our root Linux kernel code. That layer is protected. Our Linux file system, everything is there in that layer. All our apps data stored in the layer only. So app only can access their app data. Other apps can't able to read other apps data. Protection. That protection layer we have. So if you are a root user, you can access anything in your device, right? So that's why we need an Android routing. We call about Android routing. Android routing is nothing but privilege escalation. Android routing is the process of privilege escalation to the root level user. So manufacturer is the user root access. We are trying to. So Android rooted codes are having more risk. If any spyware, malware install that code, what happens? It has a complete administrative level access or not? Too dangerous. So for the security reason, by considering the security reason, manufacturers they will restrict it. And by they want their own customized environment. That's why they will restrict it. Like Android OS by default has a great features, but our manufacturer don't give that feature for the performance, device performance. Some features like to utilize the more resources, that phone is going to be damaged and electric. Got my point. So according to their needs only, they will enable the features and they will restrict the remaining. But if you root your Android phone, you have a like a permission to do whatever you want. You can completely block your device level advertisements. You don't get an ad anywhere. You can enable the null must. Okay. We can do the many things. We can automate your task. You can install any OS. Samsung phone, you can install the Google Pixel OS, OnePlus OS, whatever. So you will get that. You are because you are admin. So that's why few people love to do this kind of experiment. Okay. Of course, as a hacker, we have to do that experiment, not on original by the okay, do the experiment. More than 3 to 4 times by doing that. As experience. Okay, so let's go over. Okay. So our all apps has a 3 layers permission, not just 4 layer permission. Okay, so whenever you install any app, that app is visible in your application name. But when you click on that application, it will go to the application framework for access screen. Already I told you that we have a what we say particular Android manifest system, but define the which layer access you have an application framework. Now use they want to access the activity manager manager, window manager manager. Okay, so package manager is manager. Okay. So content provider, page quality manager, location manager, notification manager, permission. For example, if you didn't define a manifest file, telephone manager access, call access. Now it can't be that. That Android manifest file is a primary for accessing those framework layers. Okay, so this is like a structure we have. So every OS comes with some layers of. Okay, this is the structure. iOS also same model because iOS is also from the Linux Mac OS. Linux and Mac OS both are inspired from Linux. Okay. Now, how can you access your Android rooted device with the command line interface? Same iPhone has iPhone has I have taken it up, but they are more phone iOS. Okay. Command line interface. Android or iOS command interface is same. They are like they work in a command interface the same. Got it? So even Mac OS, Linux OS, command terminal app is same, controlling the same Linux system, virtual file system, we have the Mac OS also. So similarly, we can find the like 85% to the 90% of components in those two operating systems are only the HDI graphical interface controls are different. Answer is Mac OS particularly richness security controls. మీ ఫోన్ వాడేది ఉపయోగించండి అంతే కదా ఒకటే తెలిసి ఒకటే వాళ్ళకి అంతే అది అంటే ఎక్స్ప్లాయిటేషన్ జరగకూడదు అంటే నువ్వు చెప్పినట్టు వినాలంటే దట్ ఇస్ సో ఆన్లైన్ డూ వాట్ ఎవర్ అంటే so even iOS are 4 layers structure. So Coca touch application layer, four OS layer, 4 layers, 4 layers. Okay. This is like a protector. Last layer is protector. Nice. Now, if you want to get the last layer access, you are calling that one as jailbreak. Jailbreak. For Android, Android. For iOS, jailbreak. Protect the layer bypass. Okay, for Android, it is easy. We can recover also if anything goes wrong. But iOS, one much more forever jailbreak. To be done for. Okay, so Android is easy for a good experiment. If you are interested, second hand one for life. But it's an interesting learning process. Okay? So we go. See, this is an engineering topic before that how you can see that this is how many exported activities to export that activity. Zero cycle. Zero. How many containers over here? Now it is a like a limited signature version we are using. V1, but remaining signatures permissions. Then now they have like a marking. Now see the like a certificate. Application is signed with the debugging. Already reported as a bug. See the application is one of the dash. Why? Because application is signed with the V1 certificate. So V1, V2, V3 is one of them. Signed application. Fine. Now it is a using a market file. It is identified from SDK 4 version. Reported as an isolated old version. So which is a supported Android supported version. Android support 10 version. API level 29. Onwards. Not 50. So this is our level. So debugging is enabled for the app. This is a method. And Android backup upload. It is giving a warning. Consider this. 18%. Intent filter is good. Intent filter is good. Consider as this. And export it. And and then provided the next program. It's giving a one. Either you want mark as a verb or not after the debate. You can just make understand what type of data it is consuming, what type of windows are like not protected, dynamic or not. It is giving a one. Now, like a code analysis, they found debuggable source code. They found SQL queries in both areas. Already told you about SQL queries. Now, last day and external links to right out. So, they are creating a temporary verify that they create. So, it is just giving a code analysis input, but that code analysis report is just like a input to understand the scope of the vulnerable organizations. So, ये report में वेट को dynamic analysis static analysis dynamic analysis both will come back will be clear real time. अर्थमవుతుంది but like a so it is doing like everything. You can observe that it is identified behavioral analysis. It is identified the malware permissions, malicious permissions. So server location. So what are the ones identified? What are the so trackers, email addresses, like, possible hardware switches, possible screen in a library. Why those are specific in a library? Interesting. You need to check that. Okay, why that we have those two special statements. So all those are factors and everything. So it is a completely analysis. What it is in a backend. Now see this in a backend if you analyze it. Whenever you upload your APK file, it is like a calculated MP5 hash for the identity generating hashes, starting the APK and everything. So it is like a starting the APK by using the tool and analyzing the output, extracting the XML file, passing the XML file using APK. So I told you that APK tool is the software, and it is just like checking in a Play Store. Many details we have related to the practice on malware permissions, binary analysis. Completely it is using APK tool output for analyzing the library. APK tool output. Okay. So it is using like analyzing those libraries, reading sign certificate. So it is like a decompiling the APK to Java. Which tool? JA. That is a thing. So text to Mali code like a convert. So Java source code analyze. And it is mapping the like target permissions and behavior. So extracting the emails and URLs from the source code. Okay. Extracting the string data from the source code. And string values verifying. So is there any file book URL or any domains? Checking that in the malware database. Is this app has any malware? Like flag as malware file one. So it is updating the malware database and verifying the but zero malware domain form. So save everything. Now you have like a report, right? You have like a print report, PDF report. You can just like a click on a PDF because there's a PDF file 29 pages completely. So you can just click it. So this is like a static analysis. Dynamic analysis I will introduce in Monday. Okay. Download 10 plus apps, different apps, whatever apps you want to do the analysis. Local shopping apps, I will download them. Different apps, APK file, analyze with them, mobile set, read them, what type of vulnerabilities they want. These are all. అర్థమైందా సో స్టాటిక్ అనాలిసిస్ వరకే చేయొచ్చు సో ఐ విల్ షో యూ హౌ టు సెట్ ద డైనమిక్ అనాలిసిస్ environment in the next class. We will do the dynamic analysis. We will install the app in our virtual online code. This is the card motion. We will do the test. Fine. Thank you. I use the CNN.